The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
We know that the Kleisenberger Rebbe, Rabbi Kosil Yehuda Halberstam Zechrono Levracha, went through the Holocaust and lost his family. But the Rebbe in the DP camps was a beacon of hope and a beacon of light. And the Rebbe tried to provide spiritual and material resources for all the many broken people that were in the displaced person camps. And one day the Rebbe saw a girl, she must have been 12 or 13 years old, maybe a little older. And the Rebbe sees she's all skin and bones, and she's walking around without any socks. And the Rebbe comes over to her and he says to her, "My dear daughter, a Yiddish maidel is supposed to wear socks. Why are you walking around this way?" In the most beautiful way. The Rebbe was such a special person. And she says, "I would love socks. I don't have any socks. I'm a concentration camp survivor. I never got socks." And the Rebbe says, "Ay." And the Rebbe sits down on the floor and he takes off his shoes and he takes off his black socks, his tall black socks that the Rebbe wore. And he says, "There's no chiyuv, there's no obligation for a man to wear socks. The halachas of tznius are different by a man than they are by a woman. But for you, these are special garments. Here, young lady, take my socks, wear them, become a Bas Yisrael, dress like a Bas Yisrael, and in Mitzvah Hashem you'll be okay." And she took them, and she put them on. And many, 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 many years passed. And eventually the Kleisenberger Rebbe passed away to the Olam HaElyon. He was nifter. At the Shiva, a woman showed up. And the woman comes and she says to the family, "You don't know who I am, but I'm a mother today, and I'm a grandmother, and I have banim ubnei banim, children and grandchildren, who are Talmidei Chachamim, Torah scholars, Yirei Elokim, God-fearing, observant Jewish people." And it shouldn't have been that way. Because you see, when the war was over, I was broken. And I said, I don't want anything to do with the Rabbeinu Shalom. I can't deal with it. And then one day she says, I was walking, and somebody called me over and said, "My beautiful Jewish daughter, where are your socks?" And I was thinking to myself, socks? That's his issue with me? Socks? Look what the Rabbeinu Shalom did to me and my family. But that kind person, your father, he turns to the family, sat down and took off his own socks, and he gave them to me. And I kept those socks. And she reaches into her purse, and she pulls out the socks, and she says, "These socks were responsible for my children, for my marriage, for my grandchildren, and for banim ubnei banim oiskim b'Torah b'mitzvos." These socks, and she gave it to the family. That is where a person takes a beged, an object, socks, and makes it lechavod ul tiferes. Beauty, splendor, radiance. That's what happens when a person elevates their begadim, their clothing. L'kadshay, they sanctify the wearer. L'chanayli, it brings them back into the service of the Rabbeinu Shalom.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org